Wasabi guys, hopefully for the fourth fucking time of trying to upload this video, I can actually get it done. I've been fucking around with my computer, it's all, it's going to hell. So basically, hopefully, fourth time's a charm. I want to talk about the Commander 2017 decks and what we can expect value-wise. And to be honest, when we're talking about money and EVs and everything, I think the Commander pre-constructed decks are honestly the very best products you can buy. And if you were to leave it sealed, never open it, would you get your money back? And the answer is absolutely yes. If you were to buy, all the full set here, all 4 decks, and just keep a case of these just sealed somewhere, you would get your money back at least and then some. Especially if you look at the EV or the current MSRP, not MSRP, but what the actual demand is. If you go on like eBay and you try to find, say, like a box of, Breed Lethality for Atraxa, that's like $70 to $80 right there for that box. And MSRP was like $35 to $40, somewhere around that line. And that's just absolutely fucking insane. And the most expensive card in the whole deck was Atraxa herself. She's about like, I think $18 to $20 as a foil commander, which was, I don't know if that's just poor design, because these are supposed to allow accessibility into one of the most popular formats. So when you have a deck that, good luck finding it after like the first week or two, because it's going to be sold out everywhere you go. Walmart's, your local game stores, they're not going to be able to get them because they don't want to go on the internet and see, oh wow, these are all MSRPing for like $70 to $80 right now. That's bullshit. All the other decks are like $30, $35. I think the Brea one might be more expensive. It's like $60 or $50. Who knows? But still, they don't want to invest more money into something if they don't feel like they can get a return on it. And honestly, with the Atraxa deck, it sold out real quickly. Everyone just saw the proliferate mechanic, and they saw that coming back again as the keyword there. And they were just, oh, Super Friends, 4-color Super Friends. Everybody, they busted a nut over that shit. And they sold out super quickly, which I'm not complaining about. I love it when Commander products sell very well. It means the format is doing extremely well. It means that it's thriving. It means more players are coming in. More people they're getting interested for Wizards products. And you could argue that the people who, like, again, Desolator Magic, he complained about the whole fact that, Wizards never gave credit to, I guess you could say, the rules committee, the judges that came up with the idea of EDH in the first place. The good thing about it, though, is that we have all these awesome fucking products from Wizards. And I don't complain about Wizards at all when it comes to creating the Commander products. It might, when it comes to trying to push MTGO with, what would you call it? Dual Commander? Yeah, 1v1 Dual Commander. When they're trying to push that, and it's going to eventually have an impact on Commander as a whole. So that's my only complaint about Wizards when it comes to the format itself. But as far as the products go, absolutely just Value City. You're talking, you go and you buy as many of these Commander 2017 decks as you can, because foil 5-color Dragon Commanders, holy crap. And they're actually going to make these better this year, because last year we had the whole bullshit with the partner commanders, and not a lot of those were very good. So even some of those are actually very expensive too. We're talking like $8 for, I think maybe like Vial Smasher. Well, that's not one of the worst ones, but still, it's one of the partner commanders that is actually worth some money, and they're foil. But this year, it's looking like they're not doing the whole partner mechanic bullshit again, because it didn't really play out too well. Not a lot of deck ideas, not a lot of creativity. Unfortunately, there's only so many directions you can go with the partner mechanic. It didn't work out too well. They tried to make it not as busted, so the only bad thing about that was that it made it kind of not good enough. So with this year, it looks like we're getting actual multiple options for, like, say, 5 colors or 2 colors. So the commanders themselves are not going to be like split up into partners and that have different colors. No, all of the commander options per individual deck are going to be, all the same color combination. They're not going to do the partner mechanic, or at least I don't think they are. because that would be a contradiction to the two commander decks that we've kind of been hinted towards right now with dragons and cat tribal. I can only imagine what the other fucking two tribals are. I hope they're something cool. Maybe something like vampires or definitely not elves or goblins. Fuck that. Or God, one of my mirrors would be epic if they did a colorless mirror deck. That would be fucking awesome. I don't expect them to do that, but yeah, I don't. Let me know what you guys would want for the tribes as far as Commander 2017, because quite frankly, I feel the cooler the tribes we get, the better value we can expect. And a little bit of advice here: if you have, enough disposable income, which I'm imagining if you play Magic, if you play Eternal formats, chances are you already have that. Pre-order the living shit out of this, man. Pre-order so much of Commander 2017 that, and don't even open it. Just leave it in the box, put it in a corner somewhere, and wait a couple years and just, smile, laugh at everybody else who's paying, double, triple the MSRP. Because that's what it's coming down to. Because I can guarantee you, I am like saving up all my store credit. I'm saving up all my money. I'm saving up everything. And I'm going to cash it all in at one point and just buy a shit ton of Commander 2017 or maybe Commander sets in the future, who knows. But it's a great investment. If you're talking about buying boxes of, I'm going to buy a whole box of Hour of Devastation, I'm never going to open it, or I'm going to buy a whole case of it, never open it. Could you eventually get some return on it? Maybe like 10 to 20 years from now, but that's too long to fucking wait. With Commander 2017, you have the potential. We're talking like literally a month after release, and Atraxa fucking just shot up in just total price, everything. And maybe even earlier than that. I could be wrong. But just everybody's flipped shit, and it has to do with spoilers too, because everybody's looking at, a 4-color Praetor Angel. That looks so cool, so badass. She has Proliferate. I'm going to play Super Friends. Everybody thought the same damn thing. And initially I was like, I'm not going to play her. I ended up making a deck, but I didn't play for too long. I ended up selling her, and quite frankly, I'm kind of glad that I did. The deck is boring as hell. I mean, Super Friends is just not for me. It has some interaction, but quite frankly, it's just not consistent enough for me. You need to like pinpoint a strategy and just stick with it. I feel like with Atraxa, you're trying to do multiple different counter strategies, and it ends up becoming just a bunch of stuff that, kind of like a jack of all traits, but she's not really good at doing any one of them really well, except for Proliferate, but that's it. So you could focus on the whole Planeswalker Super Friends theme, or you can go into doubling season with your creatures, or what is the other one? Crystalline Crawler, that's a good creature, but unfortunately I feel that people are going to attack you if you just go full out Super Friends, and it's very difficult to defend Super Friends if you don't play enough creatures or you don't play enough removal spells. So you have to have this fucking balance of like control, Super Friends, creatures, just to make the deck kind of feel right. But it's always awkward for me for some reason. I never liked her as a commander option. Played her for about like a week or two and gave up on her because quite frankly I felt like Yidris was way more entertaining. Breya was way more entertaining. Just way more options when it comes to just how to win games, and I feel that you don't have that with Atraxa. You just have Super Friends, and okay, what are you going to do? Let me just ult one of my Planeswalkers. Is that a reliable win con, just ulting a Planeswalker? You have to think about that. So that's why I don't play Atraxa. But again, what the fuck was I even talking about? I was talking about the prices of these boxes. Why did I get onto that? But anyway, when we talk about Commander 2017, people are busting a nut for Dragon Tribal, and I can't blame them. That looks pretty sexy too. You see the Dragon. We've heard Scion of the Dragon, but not the Dragon itself. This guy looks fucking epic, man. Get as many dragons as you can, stuff it in a deck, and it's a lot more playable than Scion. Quite frankly, I'd rather have just a dragon that helps me get out other dragons, hard cast them a little bit easier, rather than just have something that's a huge target that tutors dragons in your graveyard, and like Scion was. So that is just my opinion of Commander 2017. Let me know what you guys think about that, because quite frankly, I cannot wait to buy this shit out. Buy as much of it as you possibly can, because it is going to double in MSRP. It is going to, like, don't even bother going to your locals, man. Don't even bother. I mean, unless you're waking up early, you're waiting until the absolute opening time of your local game store. And quite frankly, unless you do that, you don't stand a chance of beating anybody to the punch when it comes to getting the decks you want and getting it on time. I don't even know if locals are going to buy these, because quite frankly, the demand is too high. If the MSRP for a single deck can double after one damn month, I mean, you're kidding me, right? How many are actually going to buy these before it just runs out? They run out of product, they run out of pre-orders, and they have to cancel pre-orders, everything like that. So it's going to come to the point where you cannot rely on this at your locals, or you can't rely on it at your Walmart. Especially your Walmart, they just laugh at that shit. Oh wow, the Breed Lethality deck is like $80. Yeah, we're definitely going to get that and try to sell an $80 pre-constructed deck at our local Walmart. Yeah, good luck with that. It'll last for like a half a second. But holy shit, I forgot. I just paused the game here and I forgot to edit this out. I'm sorry about that, but again, all I give a shit about is the audio, so who really cares? I'm still going to talk about Commander. Yeah, pretty funny fight here you're about to see with a Deathclaw. I almost forgot how fucking hard this was at the start of the game. But yeah, let's get back onto Commander. We don't have this type of product with any other format. If you think about it, we don't have anything for Modern. We have Modern Masters, but again, that's a crapshoot, because it's either get a good Mythic or get a good Rare, which for some reason it's like they can't win. They put a lot of good value in Modern Masters 2017, but a lot of the cards just tank in value. So the set isn't all that hard to find. They printed a whole bunch of it. But again, they don't have any pre-constructed products for Modern. They don't have any of that. They don't have anything for Standard, anything that's good. They don't have anything for Legacy, and they sure as hell are never going to have anything for Vintage, so stop asking about that. Yeah, Pauper is honestly the only other format that I can think of that they actually do anything pre-constructed with. That and maybe Cube. Honestly, I think it would be cool if they did a Cube pre-constructed product and just have some sort of, I mean, it's obviously going to be devoid of any real value, because you have to think about it, like 360 cards, they stretch this shit out in Commander decks, and you just see a bunch of basic, bulk rares just throughout the whole decks. And with a cube, you can only imagine how much they'd be stretching that shit. You get a whole 360 card playable cube that you could play with up to 8 players. Woo! It's just filled with a bunch of shitty. It's basically like a Pauper cube at that point. That's the only thing that would make sense to me. Either that or just cheap bulk rares, which nobody wants that anyway. So if it's not good, it's going to be something completely crap. And if that's the only unfortunate part about maybe a cube, or I mean a Pauper pre-constructed deck, that would basically take a lot of the fun out of it. Maybe it wouldn't be a lot of money at all. You're talking the average deck is like $40 or $50, so why bother? They're not going to actually give you all the cards you need. I mean, look at every single pre-constructed product that Wizards of the Coast has ever shipped out to us, and I guarantee you, like, not once have they ever actually given us something that's completely 100%, playable, giving you full play sets of cards that you need, full play sets of this. Look at every Modern event deck. I know, they're not going to put every single copy of a Modern staple in one of these decks. However, okay, let's just get one of these or one of these. One Tasigur. They gave one copy of Hangerback Walker and shit like that. Modern event decks. Good luck playing with Singleton Modern deck right there. That's basically what it is. But I understand you got to keep costs low. The demand would be too high if you made it too playable. So that's the only downside there. Oh, look at that. That's sad. I'm against animal abuse. But yeah, I mean, with Pauper and Cube, I think that's really what it comes down to. are they willing to give us something that's playable at the cost of making it, really cheap? I understand that Pauper, you could make $20, you could MSRP $19.99 for a pre-constructed little Pauper deck here. 60 cards, comes with the main deck and the side deck, and I mean, it doesn't have to be like something like Oubliette or Combinage Witches or anything like that, because obviously they're not going to reprint those anyway. I think those are on the reserve list, so fuck me, right? But with just expensive cards in general, there's not many to choose from that you can reprint without just completely just ruining any value that the format could bring to the table. I mean, but they're commons already, so you can't complain about it too much. Holy shit, this guy's gonna kill me. This is what I was talking about, too. This is what I was talking about. You know what? I'm gonna end the video right here. You guys get to watch this. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm about to get killed here, so enjoy the rest of this video. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Holy shit, he's coming, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Fucking ragdoll physics.